Kate accuses the PJ of not having acted swiftly enough and of not doing everything that they can, given the fact that when they arrive in Marrakesh, there are only images of the garage from the 14th onwards. If the authorities had acted swiftly, we would now hold this potentially important information. She deserves better. We need everyone involved to give their best. Maddie's mother criticizes. Okay, before I move on to the next bit about bed remained intact, let's just keep, let me catch up on the comments. Lee saying Jane lied about the man she saw, totally made up. How do you see the abductor and don't say anything right away? Exactly, I completely agree with you on that. Amanda, it's all traceable when it comes to a head with the McCanns. If you take out the Julia part out and listen to Mark only, that explains a lot. Another weird thing, like the John Bennett Ramsey hostage ransom note. I know. I didn't look too much into the John Bennett Ramsey case, but I've seen a lot of videos, and the ransom note was something like 3 pages long. And even then, I was thinking to myself, who even writes 3 pages long of a ransom note when they are already in the house, not knowing if they will be caught or not by somebody who is asleep in the house? And he's saying to keep us and cops on toes confused. Yeah, probably. That was probably the reason. Yeah. And just to waste time in other parts. And he's also saying women who leave a child in the car for 5 minutes, for a minute, get jail time here. Because clearly that's child neglect, isn't it? And I think that they do get time here as well. Right. Okay. Moving on. One of the criticisms that is launched by Gonzalo Amaral in the book Maddie, The Truth of the Lie, was the contamination of the apartment. The alert to the authorities was given very late, and the GNR didn't protect the collection of the first residues either. So, yeah, I agree with this. Okay, first of all, the apartment was definitely contaminated. Everybody was in and out before the police even arrived and before the police was even called. And this is the fault of the McCanns, which, in my opinion, I think it was done deliberately, considering the fact that they are professionals, doctors, right? So they would probably know that a scene needs to be preserved. Even if you don't have any kind of forensic training or anything like that, it kind of makes sense, especially when you are a doctor, because I'm quite sure that a lot of doctors, they find themselves in similar situations where they know that evidence needs to be found and collected and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm saying I think that they did that on purpose, so that everything is muddled up and so that the police don't have an opportunity to find what they need to find. But then also I do blame at this point the police as well, because they didn't secure the scene when they arrived. So here is kind of, both. So when the PJ arrived at the house, everything had already been rummaged. There were hundreds of fingerprints spread all over the apartment, tons of useless residues that only made the lab technicians waste time. And even if you don't have the knowledge and you don't have experience, in my opinion, it only takes to watch a movie or a TV show or whatever else to know how these things work more or less, especially with the fingerprints and stuff like that. So yeah, that's not very, it wouldn't be very believable to say that they were not aware of any kind of process from the police or preserving forensic evidence. So yeah, again, I'm going to repeat here because I kind of lost the sentence, the phrase. There were hundreds of fingerprints spread all over the apartment, tens of useless residues that only made the lab technicians waste time. One detail was, however, retained by investigators. The bed where Maddie had allegedly been abducted from remained intact. The child's soft toy was also impeccably placed next to the pillow in a scenario that seems to have been set up. On the window through which Kate says the abductor took Maddie, there were only her own fingerprints.